Welcome to GCSE Biology. This unit is about the cell biology and is best for AQA, Excel, and OCR. If you have missed any video before this, you can watch it using the link given in the description. Now let's start the video. In this video, we will cover the following topics: sperm cell, nerve cell, muscle cell, root hair cell, xylem cell, phloem cell, tissues, organs, and organ systems. Also, we have given some questions at the end where you can test yourself, and there are some common misconceptions, the exam style questions, and then we have given a summary of this whole unit at the end. There are also some mnemonics where you can find out the ways how to memorize the things given in this chapter. Let's start with the very first topic, which is about the cell specialization. In multicellular organisms, cells undergo differentiation. So what is differentiation? It's the process where a non-specialized cell develops specific figures. This happens during development as an organism grows from fertilized egg. When cells are differentiated, their shapes, size, and internal contents are adapted for their role. Here are some key principles you must remember. The structure of a specialized cell is directly related to its function. This allows each cell to work as efficiently as possible at one specific job. So from single fertilized egg, we end up with many specialized cells, each designed perfectly for what it needs to do. So here is the list of important specialized cells. The animal specialized cells include the sperm cell, the nerve cell, and the muscle cell, while the plant specialized cells include root hair cells, xylem cell, and phloem cell. Look at this diagram and find out how specialized cells are present for animal cells as well as for plant cells. Now let's talk about the sperm is a specialized animal cell. So sperm is a specialized animal cell. It's located in testes. Its function is simple but critical. It fertilizes the egg cell. Now let's connect its function with its structure. The first is acrosome, which is an enzyme cap and the tip contain digestive enzymes that break through the egg's outer membrane called zona pellucida. The streamlined head reduces water resistance, allowing the sperm to swim efficiently. Inside the nucleus, there's a haploid DNA, and after fertilization, the correct number 46 is restored in a cell. 46 is formed as a result of 23 plus 23. The middle section contains many mitochondria. These produce a large amount of ATP, energy to power the movement. The long tail, also called a flagellum, rotates to propel the sperm forward. It can swim several centimeters. And the cell membrane contains receptors allowing the sperm to recognize and bind to the egg cell. Keep in mind, the middle section of the sperm is the engine room. It is packed with mitochondria for ATP to power the tail. Next, the nerve cell, which is also called a neuron. It's a specialized animal cell and it's located in the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves. The function of this is to transmit the electrical impulses between the different parts of the body. Now look at its adaptation. A very long axon allows impulses to travel long distances without interruption, sometimes over 1 meter long. The myelin sheath formed by Schwann cells, the very insulating layer, it speeds up the impulse using saltatory conduction. Keep in mind that in saltatory conduction, the signal jumps between the nodes. A neuron consists of so many dendrites, which are branch-like extensions, and its function is to connect with multiple neurons and receive incoming signals. Axon terminals, also known as synaptic nodes, it contain the neurotransmitter vesicles that pass the impulse across the synapse. There are many mitochondria, provide ATP for maintaining ion gradient and releasing neurotransmitters. In the nodal frenulum are gaps in the myelin sheath allowing the impulse to jump from one node to another node. The next specialized animal cell is the muscle cell. In the attached form to the bones with the tendons, and the function of it is to contract and cause the movement in the different parts of the body. Let's connect its structure to how it works. So it's a long cylindrical shape, allows greater shortening and contracting, and the cells are arranged in bundles for coordination. Inside there are actin and myosin filaments, which are also called as myofibrils, and myofibrils are the proteins that slide over each other in the sliding filament model, and this process will require energy. There are very many mitochondria producing large amount of ATP continuously for contraction. Muscle cells also store glycogen, which is a carbohydrate energy reserve that can be quickly broken down into glucose during exercise. The sarcoplasmic reticulum stores calcium ions, which trigger the contraction mechanism. And these cells are multinucleate. They have multiple nuclei because skeletal muscle fibers are formed by the fusion of many cells, allowing control of a large volume. Keep in mind that cardiac muscles are different from skeletal muscles. It contracts rhythmically, involuntarily, and has an electrical conduction system. This is the end of the specialized cells of the animals. Now we are moving towards the plant specialized cells, and the first one is the root hair cell. The function of the root hair cell is to absorb water and mineral ions, and is located just behind the tip of the growing roots. Let's look at its adaptation. It has a long thin hair-like extension increasing surface area up to 20 times greater than a normal root cell that maximize the absorption. The cell wall of it is thin, creating a short diffusion distance for water and mineral ions. A large permanent vacuole contains concentrated cell shape, creating low water potential, which draws water in by osmosis. There are many mitochondria providing ATP for active transport of mineral ions against the concentration gradient. There are no chloroplasts because the cell is underground, where no light is available, so chloroplast will be quite useless. And it is located close to xylem vessels, so water and ions can pass directly into the xylem for transport up the plant. Let me share an example tip with you. Osmosis is passive, it doesn't require energy, while the active transport uses energy, specifically ATP from mitochondria. And these two processes are often tested together. The next specialized plant cell is the xylem. Xylem is located in roots, stems, and leaves and working as a vascular bundle. Its function is to transport water and mineral upward. Now let's talk about its adaptation. Xylem is made up of dead cells. There is no cytoplasm, no nucleus, and is completely hollow lumen, so nothing obstructs water flow. There are no end walls between the cells, so they form a continuous hollow tube from root to leaf. The walls of it are lignified, means that lignin is deposited. This makes them hard, waterproof, prevents the collapse, and stop water leakage and provide mechanical strength as well. There are pits in the walls that are kind of small gaps in lignin that allow water to move sideways into adjacent cells or leaf cells. The narrow emitter helps create capillary reactions, supporting the upward movement of water through cohesion and tension. One of the important points here is that xylem consists of dead cells that transports in one direction only, and that is the upward, and carries water and minerals. And the water movement is passive, so no energy from the plant is required. Now let's talk about the phloem, which is also a specialized cell in the plant. What is its function? Its translocation, which is the transport of sugar both up and down the plant. And what is the location of it? So vascular bundles are present throughout the plant. The phloem consists of sieve tube elements and companion cells. Let's talk about the sieve tube elements first. They are living cells which is necessary for the active loading of sugars. They contain little cytoplasm, allow an empty interior so dissolved substances can flow easily. They have no nucleus, maximizing space for transport. And they have sieve plates at the end walls. And these preparations allow sugars to flow between cells. Now companion cells, they contain many mitochondria providing ATP for active loading of sucrose against the concentration. They also have many ribosomes producing proteins for high metabolic activity, and they are connected to the sieve tube elements by a plasmodesmata, which means that they share cytoplasm. Companion cells effectively run the sieve tube cells. One thing you have to keep in mind is that xylem is dead. It's a one-way upward, transporting water and minerals, and phloem is living. It's a two-way and supporting dissolved sugars. Now look at their comparison, how the xylem and phloem are opposite from and different from each other. So xylem consists of dead cells while phloem consists of living cells. Xylem contains no cytoplasm, it is hollow, while phloem contains cytoplasm although in small amounts. Transport in xylem is one way upward only, in phloem it's two-way, both up and down. Xylem transport water and mineral ions while phloem transport dissolved sugar like sucrose. The process in xylem called the transpiration stream, while the phloem it is called translocation. Xylem doesn't require energy, it is passive, and phloem requires energy for active loading. Xylem has no end walls allowing the free flow, while phloem has sieve plates with pores. Xylem walls are thickened with lignin, making it waterproof and rigid, while the phloem doesn't contain any kind of lignin. Levels of organization. Finally, look at the levels of organization in the living organisms. These levels go from simplest to most complex: cell, tissue, organ system, and organisms. A cell is the basic unit of life, for example, a muscle cell or a root hair cell. A tissue is a group of similar cells working together, like the muscle tissues or xylem tissues. An organ is made up of different tissues working together, such as the heart, the leaf, or the kidney. An organ system is a group of organs working together, for example, the circulatory system or the digestive system. And an organism is a complete living thing like a human, a tree, etc. Examples of tissues include muscle tissues, which contracts to cause movements, glandular tissues, which produce enzymes and hormones, and epithelial tissue, which covers internal and external surfaces. Examples of organs include the heart, which contains muscles, connective, epithelial, and nerve tissues, and the leaf, which contains palisade mesophyll, spongy mesophyll, xylem, phloem, and epidermis. And that is how everything from a single cell to a complete organism is organized and connected.